My name is Olga Tsareva, and I'm the next speaker. I have to myself. So I work for the Dmitry Nikitin Language School, and primarily work with preschoolers and primary learners. And my topic today is called Developing Learner Autonomy in a Primary Classroom. So this is what I now find really, really interesting and exciting for myself. So, and when we see those words, learner autonomy, it's kind of sometimes not so easily, doesn't so easily match with primary classroom in our minds. Well, at least that was like that for me. Because like we think that primary students are not yet ready to be autonomous and independent. They yet have to develop, they yet have to grow, they yet have to do things and learn things. But, so we have to start as early as possible. You all know what learner autonomy is. So it's generally, usually defined as the ability to take responsibility for your own learning. We know that when we are able to take responsibility for our own learning, that happens so easier, quicker, better. We are more efficient at learning. So, and like we've been working with primary students, so our school is almost 11 years old, and we've been working for more than 10 years with primary students and pre-primary students, and developing our own approaches and trying to look at what works, what doesn't work. And actually today I want to share with you a handbook we devised and came up, and it's freshly out of print, and this is the first attempt to put everything we want in one place, okay? And this is what it looks like. We called it Handbook, because teaching primary students we use textbooks, usually Cambridge textbooks, and we also use notebooks, so students just buy a notebook, bring it to class, and then it turns into a mixture of an interactive notebook and some, some scribbles and whatnot. So it looks messy, and they get lost into it. They get their homework record lost. They just can't find anything to revise because, they are not well organized. So we came up with a handbook, which is a notebook plus a reference book and something more than notebook and the reference book. So what it has in it, and why am I sharing today? I'm sharing because, probably our experience might be useful for colleagues, and then I'm looking for comments, because I do need some, a real kind of feedback on what you think. So, what we have there? We've got this page, one of the first pages, how to make learning successful. Because we are trying hard to teach our students to think about what they are doing. Not just to do what they are told, but to think. And to notice how their learning happens. And when you do it step by step, they start noticing how learning happens. But because once they understand how it happens, they can transfer the skills on their curriculum, and then it makes it easier for them, and they become more efficient at it. So what we do with this? So we discuss how learning can be made more successful. So there are some tips here, like aim high, ask questions, work in a team, do your homework, sleep well, read widely, respect your friends. Those are our ideas. And we discuss it in a group, and then we give a space for them to work in a group and maybe come up with more ideas. Learning, not just language, but learning generally. Okay, and that just gives them an idea that that has to do with their whole life. Okay, so to be a successful learner, you have to, sleep well, and you have to take responsibility for your homework and things like that. Then, we've got this. It's student information page. We found it to be really, really important because students tend to be over-reliant on their teachers at the beginning and on their parents. They don't remember, when they first come, the teacher's name. Well, it's difficult because they come first and they've got so much information, so they can't concentrate and remember that Maria Vasilyevna's name. Okay, so that's why we put the group's name here, the teacher's name here. We put the timetable so that they remember, not their parents, but they remember when they have a class. And there's just a phone number, school phone number, in case something happens. And not that their parents come and say, well, I will phone, but they come and say, please call the school. Okay, so I've got the number. So we give more responsibility, so try to share this responsibility with them. And then comes just a kind of calendar with slots, which goes from Monday up to Sunday. And there they might put the classes, but they also got extra classes like reading club and exam class and some events as well. So they might put it as well if it works better for them. Then we've got this. It's classroom language, and we've been using this classroom language for quite a while. And we've got those speech bubbles which are double-sided, and we start using English from the very first class. So, but what we noticed, a learner becomes more autonomous when he or she is becoming more confident. When the environment is safe and she or he knows that she can just open the book, have a look, and use the phrase. Some shy students do not ask twice, but they can just find the phrase we just learned and find the English equivalent and address the teacher. So this is there for them to practice, because that's the book, and it's got a flap at the back. There's the flap. Can you see the flap? So they could cover the English version, use the Russian one, test each other in pairs. Okay, then comes voice level chat. This is the notebook version. We've also got it on the wall. And this is about developing self-control and self-management skills. So when children use their loud voices, that's not on purpose. That's very often just because they are not yet used to control the level of this voice. And we have to point out to them that there's 5 levels, just 4 of them loud in class. 5th level is outside voice, you don't use it in class. And we demonstrate what is silence, what is secret talk. Secret talk is pair work. We demonstrate what group talk is, but it's group. Then there's class talk, and there's speaker talk, and it should be different. And that they should learn to be able to, you know, to control it. Then those are language levels. Well, actually, our school has this Cambridge certificate, so we do, well, we act as a Cambridge center, so our function as a Cambridge center. Our students take exams at school, and they are well familiar with the CFR level, A1, A2, and whatnot. But we came up with this more child-friendly kind of illustration. So that's a rainbow, and well, it coincides with the levels from A1 to C2, and it's also got some pictures here. I'll comment on that. So the thing is that most of our students who come to have primary classes used to study in pre-primary classes. So they did some another pre-primary program, getting them ready for the reading and writing stage. So they did something before. So we know that what they did before have any name. It's all pre-A level. It can be 5 pre-A levels, pre-A1 levels. So that's why for them to see that they didn't waste their time, we've put it here. So they sang songs, they read books, they played games, and they played role plays. And then comes this rainbow, which takes them from the red level up to the violet. And if you look at it carefully, so, and we comment on that the red level is the longest. And the further we go, the shortest the strip is, because less people get to the upper level. What you need is time and effort. And we always stress that we do play games, we do have fun, but it's time and effort, that's what you put in successful as a learner. Because for pre-primary stage, it's okay for them to have fun and not to realize what is happening. But as far as they reach 7 years, it's important for them to get to know that they are learning, because this is the main activity according to Vygotsky, you know, this learning. And if you help them, if you scaffold them and how it's happening, specifically for them. So this is just my calendar. It's about confidence, because we've got this routine, as most teachers do. We start the class with discussing the date and the day and the weather. Well, it might be a bit boring stuff, but they love it, because when they know what to say, they love it. And then we do it also because those words, months and days of the week, they're very difficult to associate with anything, okay? You can't use a picture. So those words are difficult to remember because they don't have any images to foster it. So, and that's why when you practice at every class, they get to remember it, and that's not a problem. So, and then this is just a prompt for them, just a prompt. Let's go to the phrase, how you build this phrase, today is the of and things. Then, that's the world map. Well, it's world map. We've also got them on the walls, and we very often use them because there are country names in textbooks, and we kind of show them that there's the world around, and this is kind of clear approach, bits and pieces of that. Then there's Russian Federation map, because we do think it's important for them to know the geography of our own country. And also it's there because this year we launched a project, and we launch it here at 1 o'clock before lunch. So if you're interested, it's about Russian geography, it's about young learners. So you are welcome. So, and we want them to see how big the country is, where they live, and how where other people live, where our children, like their age, live. So this is just to let them know. Then there are 3 pages with a calendar, common stickers. Well, actually there are 3 pages, empty ones, and then there's a collection of stickers, because we have to change them every year. And the calendar, so we have to open that page and stick the sticker starting from September and up to August. This order, because we start academic year in September. Why this calendar? So we find it really important to develop the short-term and long-term planning skills. They should see that that's not something that they do today, and well, what they do today and tomorrow is connected, and that we've got a plan. And then to see how calendar actually works, because it's important. It works. Well, we know how it works, but we learned it some time ago. Yeah, maybe long ago. There are weekdays which go vertically, and then there are dates, and you have to find the date, and you have to understand which weekday is the date. So it can be challenging for primary students. What we do with that? So it's like, it's in September. It happens in September. So they've got those small slots, and we plan. So what we plan? We put in birthdays. We put in school events like Christmas and Easter and Halloween and things. We put in exam dates, camp dates. So it's kind of, and they see the picture. They've got a plan to go, and this is the way to give this. Well, just to hand over this responsibility to them. Well, they know better what will happen than their parents or than their teacher, because they've got this plan. And then it's transferable, you know, so you can do it in Russian as well. Then comes the second part, which is called vocabulary organizer. And this is what I find especially important, because this very skill is about language learning. And they might learn other languages later. And we just wanted to give them some tools to use to organize your vocabulary, so that this vocabulary is easier for them to learn. For them personally, because we do explain that every one of you already has successful learning strategies. You know better what works for you. Or maybe if you don't know, you can learn it because other people share, and I will help. So vocabulary organizer, it's just a part of this book which has got this kind of guideline first in Russian, so that they can read it, because you know they need it in Russian. So we just give them ideas. You can use it as spidergram, you can use those pockets, you know, you can use just drawings, you can use just 2 columns, be it verb, present and past simple, be it Russian, English. And then you can think and you can come up with a different idea of your own, how to organize the vocabulary. And then come pages which look like that, unit and topic on top. They put the unit number, the topic, the name of the unit. And there are 2 pages per each unit, so it's limited. So you have to put the vocabulary in this part of the unit just on 1 page, organize it so that you could see it at once. And after we finish the unit, there are tests and things, and they can, after doing tests, they go back to this page and they can color the stickers. So it's kind of self-assessment. So if the stickers at the bottom, so if they remember it well, so they color 5 stickers, 3 stickers. It's again, it's self-assessment. How well do I remember? How can I get any better? But it also needs a follow-up discussion. Of course, children do it. It's fun. But you have to comment on it. And, well, for that case, we do switch to L1 because we find it really important and we can't yet discuss it in English. So while they are pre-A1 or A1, then comes notebook, and it's just notebook, like pages, empty pages for teachers to and for students to do something, drafts and exercises and things. And then there's book review pages, because we do read books. We've got a library at school, and children's got books it's called extensive reading. Okay, so they borrow a book for a month, usually a book for 2 months, it depends. So and they read this book, and then they prepare this book review. Well, book review is a genre which is complicated, isn't it? So, and we just slowly preparing them for that. They are given those speech bubbles, and they are given those the vocabulary, like I loved, the book was about, reading this book made me wonder about. Well, quite complicated structures for an A1 level students, but they manage it because they do it every month. So there are, well, we've got 3 in the book, but you could photocopy it, so, and then they just assess the book. Well, using the handbook, we plan to help our students to work out their own learning strategies, form short-term, long-term planning skills, develop their confidence, which is closely connected with autonomy. Really, they have to be confident, track their progress, self-assess themselves, think and reflect on their learning, look back, how was it? Well, it takes time. It doesn't happen at once, but it happens. It's gradually. So they start thinking over it. Improve their self-control and self-management skills. Make choices and take risks. So this is basically it. And well, if you've got any comments, I would be very happy.